Okay, I gotta press the button. The button. There it is. Button. We're good. It's time for bugs. So, we recall from last time, we made this cute little guy. Which, for this, I need to take the headset off for a second. Hello! I mean, yeah, that's totally me. What do you mean? It's not totally the other guy, the duct tape version of me. I don't know if the green screen will kill this. We got the test print of the big boy, the war criminal himself. We got the Knight. So, I'm good. How are you? We're working on bugs, so everything's great. I have all of the stuff that is in the magic folder. Wait, no, camera means it's over this way. Your camera tracking, we're over there. So we have our Hornet, we have our Sherma, we have the little ghost, and soon enough, we're gonna have the big man himself, the invincible Grey Prince Zote. Fairly decent. That's good to hear. We gotta get out there, enjoy the sunshine, or hollow up, get some nice lo-fi vibes going, and work on some funny bug costumes. So, I think what I need to do for this, because it's gonna be a pretty quick and easy one, I think we get a copy of what we literally have open here so that we can get the size right, because Zote and the Knight are roughly the same size. So we have that. We're going to throw in, well, almost in the right spot, a reference of our favorite little guy onto the canvas here. And unfortunately, he's not quite the same shape. Pretty close, but we're just looking for about the same height overall. So, I think that might be as easy of a job as we can find. As well as throwing his face onto the screen here. I think we're going to need our copy of the Armorsmith alien, because otherwise, yeah, cool, we got Zote's head. We can't fit our body into it at all. So, we go into our generic costumes folder, we get the copy of myself in Armorsmith alien form, and roughly mash that into the skull of Zote. Now, because we also want this to be somewhat functional, in that we're going to be able to wear this, Zote's face is not great for being able to see forward, I don't think. Funtime Foxy. That's the one from Superstars? I'm not as familiar with Five Nights as I probably should be. Oh dear. I looked it up. Oh no. I have FNAF knowledge now. Yeah. I definitely looked up how to do a bunch of animatronics for the purpose of making a Superstar Freddy. So, doing the servo-controlled eyes just so that he can blink, look around, and then doing puppeted hands. So, I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but definitely have looked into what all of that will entail. So, how do I make Zote's lumpy head here? What is the play? Do we do something like that? Then kind of extrude it upward? He's a weird shape, dude. Why is he so grumpy and lumpy at the same time? I think we start with something like that and round it over. You lurkin'? That's okay. Everyone knows that his aura of Zoteness, I don't even know what you'd call it. He's a weird little guy. He thinks he's very fancy. He is not. He's just a weird little dude. Hydrate or dihydrate. Okay. Here we go. Oh, camera's this way, because the auto tracking's not working so good. We got our Hornet sticker. And unfortunately, no energy drink today, because the shopping trip has not yet happened. So let's go a little bit like this. Project something like that. I honestly think he's going to start out as a square, and then we're going to work from there. As easy a shape as that. Because if we start with that funny block and then do that, might have gone a little too aggressive with that. Let's get that flat surface like that. Go a little bit higher. No. We'll remove that taper. And then just do it this way. With the draft so that it's not grabbing everything at the same time. Now, definitely a little too aggressive. What do we do here? I think we'll just futz around with sketches. Because we still have our center line there. And if we actually define things, let's go a little wider that way. And this one is projected. So we have our dimension here. Let's also go a little wider this way. Starting to get into the right shape overall there, which is good. I have a feeling Zote's going to be a little more enclosed at the top than the Knight is. Because, man, this little guy has a melon. Oh no. He's too consistent of a color. The duct tape's throwing it off. Let's actually change that up a little. Only do this one. And then adjust this one down so that we have some room within the helmet to live, breathe, put internal things such as the... I really like the concept of the removable eyes, just for the ability to clean them or replace them as needed, instead of just redoing the whole helmet. So I think that's going to be my non-negotiable thing. Now, we'll play around with this, just to get some rounded shape back into his weird bug head here. That might need to be something like this. Maybe I'm being too aggressive with it. Interesting. We can go to 100 that way. And we can go well past 100 that way. But it's still definitely too much. So let's bring that to the right flat cut there. Playing around with that's not so terrible. Switch it to variable though. On this side, just to drag that almost to the shape of a human head. Nearly. Now, this one, I think we might be able to get away with that for his funny little jowls. I think that'll work. Maybe not the cleanest or nicest looking thing, but we can say the same thing about Zote himself. There's some weird stitching going on there though. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. So, if I can't tell, what we'll do is we'll force zebra analysis, see what the stripes are telling us. It is changing direction a little. Sorry for the flashing lights, everybody. And I just realized that my little dancing Zote is definitely just floating around. So hey, there he is. He's fine. Oh, that does show a different story there. Something's funny. So, if that's being weird, let's get rid of it. Do one of those. Stitch that and see if that helps. Marginally better. Not perfect though. So let's fiddle around with this. Try that. Aha. It's a little lumpy bumpy still. let's try just doing that. And rolling the timeline just to there. See if that weird stitch is still there. It's not looking like it, so we might not need to do that after changing those around. Yeah, that looks a little better. That is definitely something, though. I don't think it's going to be that big of a concern, though. So, I think that means we can go to the most important feature of his funny horns, because that's going to be the difficult part of the process, at least here for me. So, don't need those. Go back into the solid environment here so that we can do just a mirror about the center. He is a mood and an icon. He's just a funny little guy. All these bugs. So we have that, which roughly fits the shape there. And we can attribute anything else to... It'll be fine. So I think we go into purple mode, make his horns kind of in a similar fashion to how we did the knights. But obviously a little more dramatic because drama is the name of our boy Zote. So, purple mode. We are going to have to create some funny cylinders here. Let's make our life easier. Do I get an angle which I can actually work from here? Kind of? I can cheese that. And unfortunately, his horns are not even close to being mirror symmetric, so we have to make two of them. So we'll go off of that, and I guess somewhere up and around there. We'll start kind of in the ballpark of the diameter. Somewhere in the ballpark with the length. We need mirror in that direction so that they're across the front and back of the skull. And let's get a few more control points in there. So, longhorn first. And we'll just start playing. I think that'll work. So that we can roughly drag our shapes into form here. That's doing something. I'm not liking that. What is that doing? Ah, those aren't quite perfectly perpendicular. Ah, the precious little bugs. Hello, vodka. I don't know if this one counts as precious. Because I don't know if we've shown you yet, but Zote is self-defined as mighty. He is certainly something. He's alright. He's definitely alright. There we go. That's better. All I'm saying is you definitely, if you are a completionist for collectibles and achievements, as I know some of the folks in the chat are, specifically Odka, there's an achievement for letting Zote die just on his first encounter, where he's being thrown around by like one of the most basic enemies in the game. Something is not working right with my pan and zoom here. That should be fine, that should be fine. This we want to play around with. Oh, that's probably because I have the full body visible and everything's just going chaos with that. Too lumpy, too lumpy. And I think this one will do just over to this guy. Squeeze. We want everything in the loop, not just the single item there. And it's just as always, a whole bunch of futzing. Seeing if it'll get somewhat close to what we're looking for. So I think what I need is to get this one there. So we probably want another loop within there. Just to control the width there. And a little bit of the curvature within the ring. So, because that has a little bit of an arc, we'll do that. Expand it that way. And then roughly just bring everything in. These ones, I can tell they're going to be a bit of a problem. So, I think just doing the squoosh tool, to use its very official name. Something along those lines. And then, because this is a horn that's growing into a point, kind of narrow it down as we go. Would help if we get the whole ring, so that we can get the squoosh. Good-ish. Works for now, I think. And then just keep adding cylinders that must remain intact. That might even be a little bit smaller here. Oh. Definitely want a different rotation on there. Let's make an entirely new cylinder instead of fighting with it. this time. And symmetry and length. Probably right. Something like that. And then we'll just move the whole dang bus over. Terrified of stitching all these together. But that's rapidly approaching, so I'm gonna have to figure it out. In my mind, it's just, it'll go. Should be fine. Don't know if that's gonna be the case. I think to make my life a little bit easier, just get these roughly the same width as the other one so that everything can almost be sewn together. Something in that ballpark, and we'll fiddle around to make everything almost seamless. Because I think this and that plus these four need to disappear. And then we need our weld. So that to that, this to there. And it is freaking out a little as it switches from something that is very much possible to exist to something that is not. And I think that might work for the most part, because that should be a quad, just a very strained one. And then we can do the same there and the same there. And probably want to close this off before everything at the end here. So, it still has the same symmetry. We're good there. Now it's just shaping. His kind of lumpy horns here. Now, trying to match this to a 2D drawing might be a bit of a treat. So, I think if I twist and pull this way, we'll get somewhat of a smooth form. It's gonna be interesting, to say the least. Just like our boy Zote, he's gonna be interesting. I'm going to be leaning on the smooth tool a whole bunch for this one. Because I can see that I'm already overrunning the lines of the 2D canvas here pretty bad. But we're in futz mode. Just keep playing. Drag stuff until it kind of looks right. I think it's really just these, the join of the horns here that's messing with me. It's probably fine. Just need to get it into a shape that makes a little more sense. Because this smaller one, in theory, should be thinner than the other. If I'm perfectly honest, and expecting to understand how things grow. So I'm assuming it's just like an animal's tusk, or you know, the horn of a pug. I ain't no biologist or entomologist or something olologist. Just a dumb engineer. Is that right? No, that's not feeling right. And this is just feeling like it's much too sharp in there. Camera, please. Attempt to get a straight line there, or at least something that resembles a straight line. Now that's messed with the overall curve there. Just keep playing. And where it joins the skull, I think that'll be fine. Fixed with some fillets. What do you think, gamers? Is that getting close to what Zote the Mighty should feel like? Feed it through the smooth tool. Because those are the problem areas I see. Do that just to get a little bit better curvature. How much did that drag things out of shape? A little at the top, definitely fine down on here. So we'll just do this, grabbing the outer ones. Again, just slightly tweaking it. Smoothing out the curve there, that's good. We'll do just the inner ones again here. Probably want those. And the machine said that was fine. I think I'm gonna argue with it. Disagree a little, just as a treat. It might have been right on that. We'll just tweak those. That has a valley now. So I will say, no, machine, you're drunk, go home. Yeah, it totally has a valley now. What the heck? try and eliminate the valley. And checking from that profile, it looks okay. This one doesn't appear to have the same valley that it brought in. So I think I'm, for the most part, happy. Just some last tweaks here, and then I swear I'll get onto the second horn so that we can get to the fun parts of making a Zote. The wonders of 95% of 3D modeling just being hovering around and wiggling the camera. Okay. I think that's all I'm going to do for that one. So, we get to do the same on the other. Alright. Who's in the chat that's also a gambler with me? We're gonna try something silly. Hey look, he's got 2 horns. We're gonna do that. Save? What? No. No. What do you mean? Do clear the symmetry there. So do a little, nope, won't let me do it that way, but that's okay. I will save to appease the fine folks that are in the chat. Where are we at? Hollow Knight? Yippee. I swear I know how to spell. Zote's shell. It does grab both still. Dang. Okay. Darn. The symmetry tool didn't work anyway. Haha. Actually, let's be absolute menaces. Scale is not in this one anymore, is it? Totally isn't. Yippee. Alright. Good thing edit form still exists. Then we can do reindeer sight, jingly bells. I get what you're going for. Chunk that one up a little, and now it needs to be squished in that direction, and chunked in that direction. Something like this. Kind of works. Lets me be lazy. which is the ultimate goal. These rings are definitely no longer perfect circles. Not even close. But that's okay. I think just grab those as the top. Yeah, we're good. We're great. We're golden. Everything's great. Grab the little funny antler here. This and that are almost in the right spot. Honestly, these are feeling a little easier. I think that's good. Is it because we learned things along the way? Maybe. Do I feel like I learned anything along the way? No. Just playing around. Getting ready to personify the Grey Prince himself. I guess for the people in chat that may be wondering, why the heck are you making so many bugs? Well, dear chat, I have a story for you. Last week, we did the silly little thing of making the war criminal himself, and then got into talking of the new release, which is absolutely impending, and I'm sure we're going to get it in May, just like all the leaks said. Disregard the fact that today is the last day of May. For Sea of Sorrow, also known as the Zote boat update to Silksong. Which led us to the wonders of there's a convention that is in Victoria in the second week of August, which is along the waterways between the island that is Esquimalt and downtown Victoria. We were looking at the powers of we have credit cards and the ability to rent a boat of some variety, including one that is a hot tub / barbecue. And that might be the most fantastic entrance to any convention ever. Disregard the fact that we're dressed up as silly little bugs, just having a party, doing whatever. Kind of on brand for some of the characters. Definitely not for the majority. Just bug stuff. So, within our house, we currently have Sherman Hornet, have printed the skull, shell, whatever you would like to call it, for the Knight. And we also have, because everything's up here, camera, we have his nail. Ooh, and we have to make the sword for Zote himself as well. So, options. Basically, whoever visits for a convention, you already got a costume waiting for you here. You just have to choose which silly little bug guy you want to be. Everyone is bugs. Everyone can be bugs. Everyone is encouraged to be bugs. Because I'm not going to bully anyone into being a bug. But if they actively do not want to be a bug, I need to ask some questions. Primarily, why wouldn't you want to be a bug? No bills, no taxes, just bugs. All of the kingdoms that these bugs hail from are in disarray. The government does not exist. That sounds pretty good. No taxes, just bugs. Mystery drinks. 7-Eleven can't read and just grabbed whatever pink. Oh. Mystery DoorDash. We're doing gacha at the same time as streaming? No. That bigger horn makes sense. This one needs to be cleaned up a little. So I think we do the power of the smoothing tool again. Just on the outside faces here. Then we'll go to the inner. So that roughly follows the outline. There is a weird lump there. Let's fix that. Drag it out that way. That curvature looks a little better. That's good? Question mark? And we will then hit the inner. Is this the live chat review of Mystery Monster from 7-Eleven? That's pretty okay. We'll just tweak these slightly to get back to the form we're looking for. I think Zote's Mighty Crown of Horns is just about there. Longer horn is wider than the outer thin horn. Same on both sides. This one is a little lumpy. We'll fix that. And then I think after that we just finalize it and start mashing it onto the body we've already made. I can just see a little bit of a wave in the form here. Which, although it won't really be perceptible once it's worn as a crown, I will know, and it will bother me. And that's a fate worse than death. Something about knowing being half the battle, the other half being red lasers and blue lasers. Now, what is that doing? It's just this one that's causing a fight there. Whoop. Yeah, that's totally what's the problem, child. Okay. Cool. We found the source of all our woes. It's feeling good that way. This way, almost. Nearly. I think it's just literally that tweak there. Kind of a straight line, kind of a straight line. It's feeling all right that way. I think we can get a zebra analysis at that point. There is a little bit of a lump around the point where it splits, and it's doing something near the top. Let's do the same here. That one's a little better for the top. So I think we just do one last round of smoothing on these ones. That's okay. Do a little bit of a pull there. And same for the other. I think that'll work for me. One last check before we go to the blue camera as opposed to purple mode. Just this one. Somewhere around the middle, it just decided it wanted to be silly. Cool. Alright. Isn't he majestic? We're gonna believe. We're going to then, because we need to mirror the skull this away, like so, and because a little bit neurotic, we'll do a section analysis that away. So that we can see that in fact, yes, there will be room within Zote's mighty crown. And it'll probably be a lot easier than the Knight. For fitting into here. Quite literally just cutting a hole in the bottom of his jowls. Cool. Now, am I brave? I am very brave. We'll do that. We'll do this. We will make sure that we have everything. I will save because, yeah, I agree. Something is doing something here. Because that should not be what is highlighted there. I think that's pretty good. I'm enjoying him. Much better. All right. We've saved. We've thrown it to the wolves. Good luck, everyone. It's doing math. It's not arguing. Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red Rouge Ruby. Okay. It did manage it, so there we go. Cool. Now you can also be the boy. You can become the invincible, fearless, sensual, mysterious, enchanting, vigorous, diligent, overwhelmingly gorgeous, passionate, terrifying, beautiful, powerful Grey Prince Zote himself. Yippee! That's good. I'm happy. Now, do we start with the face, or do we actually make this thing somewhat wearable? I would like to be able to have this on someone's head. Maybe mine. We'll see. Everyone is bugs. Everyone could be bugs. Everyone is encouraged to be bugs, even. Just do that so that we have an oversized head shape in there for getting our noggins into Zote's shell. Grab all those, grab something like this, and just do a little bit of a cut. So, as best guess, we'll do something like that. Pretty much no worries. Merp, 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 merp. Can even go back into this, and heck it, we'll make it even bigger. It might be able to fit all of Zote's ego in. Adjustable, doesn't overshoot the front, which is my concern because it adjusts how his jowls will look. So I think that is good. Or maybe even not just good, good enough. We are bugs, we are legion. So, hello Ziggy. You're just about to see the best boy getting his expressions added onto his face here. So, because he's kind of turned at a slight profile here, we'll adjust things down. Do that. Just do a little bit of arc. Because the joys of making Sherma's faceplate removable has led us to the belief that Zote should be able to just drink his juice. So we want to make this mouth good and flappy. That might be a little too far. So if we do something like this, using something like that, technically we don't need to have a mouth on the back of his head. I know, absolutely wild concept. We will make this onto a hinge somewhere down there. What I was thinking initially was to do a fabric hinge like we did just with webbing, but I need to figure out a way that we can have some sort of control over the mouth, because if he can flap and talk and just be an absolute yapper, that is the goal. So I think I need to consult the furries again, because my initial thought is we need some sort of inverse motion pulley system. No, I don't want to learn complex concepts with AI mode. That's the opposite of what I want. Not interested. Atwood machine. Because basically my thought there is the mouth itself stays in the closed position. When your jaw goes down, pulling on some sort of cable, it will lower and make him flap. That might be something that we have to figure out after. I think what we will do though is at least get this going. So I think doing a plane just there to split this with that, and then rejoining those together so that we have our mouth. And to make him have his luscious pouted lips here, we'll do that. Go this way with a little bit of an offset. We went 5 that way. It's not going to let me go much past that, is it? Beans. 5 that way, not happening that way. Cool. I love it every time. Well, if you are going to be that way, we are going to use violence instead. So, 5 up, because that's what we said. Match it there. Maybe go out to 10 this way. And I just want a little bit of a spline here. Going something like that. And I think we'll get as close as possible that way. That should be fine. Let us believe using that. Will it go all the way around? Will it cause a bunch of chaos? Probably. Yep, totally does. Cool. It almost worked. Let's play with that. No. Guide surface. That one. No. How rude. Let's go back this way. Oops. Do something like this. Something like that. Something out to here. And something like that. Then, if we go this way, we go that way. And get the whole profile. And, of course, it doesn't like that at all. Rude. Never use solid sweep. Let's give it a try. Nope. I understand what it means now. I thought the guide surface would be the way to go. Let's try that way. Apparently no. Okay. That appears to be fine. What entirely is it doing here? Let's fiddle around and play with that. Nope. Okay. Geometry be weird. Alright. Let's just kill it. And go with what actually works half of the time. That way. We'll go also that way. And big grumpy lip. So there we go. That's the kind of silly we're looking for. Need him to look like a grumpy old man. I'm so happy with that. Okay, and we need the mouth to actually be able to fit into the cavity there, so we'll give it a little bit of clearance. So good. Alright, now we gotta make him look depressed. So we'll do that, lock that in as our center line, and because he is looking off and giving us his best profile, I think we're gonna draw to match here, and then just slightly shimmy it over to the side. Something like that. Grumpy bug, grumpy bug. And now we can even do it with math here. So we are just about 60 that way, just about 10 that way. So center it over 25 this way. And mirror that about this. And hello? Oh no, he's sad. He's so sad. Laser? Oh. Yeah. Zote the Mighty heat vision. I don't think he has that attack. He'd probably love it. We'll do that. And look at this guy. He sure is something. I think we bring back our analysis there and do another one this away. Something like this. Just so that we can do the removable eye patches again. Now, if I was a clever man, which I don't think is happening here anytime soon. Where is our extrude for the laser eyes? This one? That one. Perfect. If we go this way, and we roll our timeline back to here, that seems smarter. Let us split our surface here. Nope. Helps if I grab the right ones here. Technically, I don't need to do that. Never mind. I'm being a silly Billy. Because we can just make a cloned copy of that. Oh, weird. It's telling me I didn't save right. Disagree. Okay. Our mouth. Might actually be easiest. Let's just be lazy about it. We do that. We literally do not need this. Just get rid of it. Now, we have that ring. And because of the analysis, we have that one, which we can just get rid of. Cool. Now, get rid of those. Keep that, technically. Yeah. Get rid of that. Make a patch of this. That'll work for our fabric. So then we can remove that. And if we roll this that way, we need fabric. Black. And I think I just did this for now. If I do something silly like that, is that what we need? I don't think it is. Oh, and I can't mirror that across because he is not mirrored symmetric for making eye rings. So I gotta be more clever than that. So let's actually pretend to be more clever than that. Let's go to there as a new body with two sides. There we go. That's what I'm doing. Okay, we got a ring there. We'll call that our new one. Actually, if I was smart, I'd do both at the same time. Did I grab both for this? Yep. I was being a silly Billy. I'd already done it. That's good. I'm okay with that. Now, what I need is some way to do the draft angles. Yeah. He totally does have a fancy monocle. Are we getting like a mecha Zote? I need a tangent plane. Yeah. Tangent plane. Something like that. And something like that. So that I can draft with that angle this way. And do I remember the angle? I think it was 20. That we had for his face. 20 and 15, maybe, perchance. So we'll do that. And then this gets combined with that, using that as the cutting body. This can be removed entirely. And then we have our split ring here, so that we can have this, which is 16, as our way to contain, and that as a way to hold our fabric. So that, and one more plane. Do one there that appears to make a flat. It's a little chaotic, but don't mind me. Cool. So fabric ring, so that we remember. This might disappear, and good. Yes. Technically don't need our mouth right now. That needs to mirror. This needs to mirror. Good. I think that's fine. This, that, and that. 8 is the head. Good. Ring, ring, banana phone. So if we do this, that, this, joined together, don't bother about keeping them. Head. Cool. Now. Go that way. For our bug goggles. Something like that. And so that everything sits properly. Did I put way too much gap in there? Potentially. We'll fix it though. Fix it in post. Can adjust that angle as we need to. Let's take a look, see how it ultimately feels here. So literally just making a patch of that ring and a patch of this ring. Helps if I have it facing the right way. And one of those, one of these. And what a grumpy bug. He's good. Do you think he could go and save Hollow Nest? The hero that we need? Or perhaps not even the hero we need, just the one that we get because he's there. What a guy. Most certainly a mood. hero that is present. We'll do the big fancy render. We're not giving any money to Autodesk for this. And we're doing it on our machine locally because we paid for the full CPU. We're going to use it all. Hopefully it's pretty easy because it's just fabric and paint and a little bit of light from above. We'll see how that goes. See in a few seconds, so I think we're okay. Does that mean that we move on to making the most impressive of weapons in all of Hollow Nest? Come on, Wing. He's so sad. Oh, I could do Mossberry really quick. I don't know how to cosplay a bush, though. Is the sword different? Very much so. He's so sad. I don't know if I like him literally being a box in some places. Might tweak it a little, just because it does look a little funny in the render. Watch me do something stupid. That one? Yep, that one. Oh, this is gonna hurt the math machine. Yeah, I made the video stutter by doing math. Yippee. It wasn't even the render this. Oh, hell yeah. Nothing broke. I learned nothing. I might do it again. It's giving Obsidian Onyx, Midnight Lost Soul, Rolling Blackout, Panther, and Void by Armani. I think that's a little better. Let's see what it looks like under the mathematical concept of light. He's a little lumpy bumpy. The swords are different. He's literally got a plank. One is ancient meteorite, and one is just a bit of wood. He's just got a little plank of wood. He's carrying a board. Man came ill-prepared for the horrors of Hollow Nest. Yeah. We'll do the power of... This is Zote's absolutely flat sword versus all of the different copies of the nail. Admittedly, the pure nail is very fancy. However, we got the old one for our boy. We do that. We hit save. Even unprompted. I hope you're proud of me. Anyway, we're making a new thing. Let's not save during this. We're gonna get the night snails just for reference so that we know how big the thing is. Hey, look, that's a nail. Neat. We'll put in our canvas. We will go to the Hollow Knight folder. We'll go to the Zote one. Hey, look, a nail. They're almost cursor shape. Yeah. What if triangle? I'm modeling this. I think, honestly, it's just going to become a template that we use to score in on some EVA. Just to make a wooden plank that you can what? Nail, not nail. Yep. Disregard that he's floating up here. We'll do that, this, that. We're just making our template. Just like that. Neat. But I think I'm gonna put it on to the be right back. Something, something, be right back. I hydrated too close to the sun and had to go. Alright. Hey, look at that. Just 2 sheets of 10mm EVA foam laid together. Amazing. Technically, I don't even need to do that, because I can just mirror it. Let's just do one side. Yippee. Doing the texture here, so that we can get a DXF out of everything. Because, hey, multiple ways to actually design and build stuff? No way. I like Team Cherry's concept of wood grain. It's really good. That is something there. We'll just do something like that, something like this. I have a feeling the way to do this is entirely playing around with the thin extrude tool, which I don't know if I've done on stream before, just because it has such a weird use case. But kinda perfect for what we're doing right here. Something like that. Something swoopy like that. And then just blend them together. And that I'll tag onto there. I like that I'm just making this template, and in all honesty, when it comes down to making the physical one, I will eyeball it. It may look somewhat similar. No guarantees it's going to be this exact. The wonders of, yeah, I'm making a plank of wood. Alright, that's the approximately canon appearance of his shellwood blade. I think, yep. There's a branch there, that, doop, 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 doop. Just need to do the little eye in the center there. We want our thin extrude. We don't want this. We want those and these. Because thin extrude literally just grabs sketch items and we want two sides. We don't want all the way through. We'll just do that. And wall location, we want it in the center of where we drew. And we want our wall thickness, screw it, make it thicker. And be an agent of chaos here. Grab all these surfaces. Go. Nope. Okay. Good enough for me. We made a board. Let's see what we got for wood textures. Ooh. Ooh, ah. So fancy. Mahogany? Unfinished? Perfect. Oh, I'm a special boy. Haha. That is what did it grab there? Well, the lucky point here is I can just grab that and go to there. Join. fact that I selected the wrong thing. Doesn't even matter now. Mahogany. It has a little bit of... Can I adjust the scale of the texture? What a fancy texture this is. Shame I don't want any of it. That is throwing the thing for a loop. Do I even need? I think most of these woods are gonna have far too much texture for what I actually want. Yeah, no wood color. We're just going to do that and edit it towards the brown that we're looking for, with a bit of purple in it. Something like that. A little more brown. More brown. Slightly pink. Shellwood is weird, man. It's in the right ballpark. I'll call that it. So, can hide those. And we can create our mirror. Something like that. Now, for the sake of a render, we do set that as our top. Look at that. Cool fancy sword for a real hero type. Didn't even need to save. Maybe I will now. So it's Shellwood blade. Cool. We did it. You know what that means? We gotta go make even more bugs. Because we did the print of the old nail. Here. We did... Oh geez, the duct tape. She was a temporary solution, and it is sure feeling temporary solution-y right now. We did the Knight. There we go, the auto tracking is working now. The Knight's head took about 3 days printer time. So I think Zote being a little bit larger in certain aspects than his good buddy here might take maybe a day longer. I don't know. We'll see. But we got 2 boys. We just need to figure out the flappy mouth mechanism and some sort of support mechanism for the head, which I think we'll do just a little bit off stream. But bugs. We got the majestic hero and then this weird silent murderous guy. But I think that's all for today. I don't know what the next theme will be, because we're starting to run out of bugs. We can always find more bugs, though. So, if the fine folks at home have any ideas for the month of June, I'm all ears. I'm ready to make some stuff. So happy at this guy. He's dopey. Alright. No more playing around with the bugs. I love you all. New month, more streams. We'll see you next week. Goodbye. I love you. End stream button. Beep boop.